Welcome to the Wakefield Doctrine, the theory of Clark, Scotts, and Rogers. This, I believe, is take 5. Take 5 for a couple of different reasons. Nevertheless, it is take 5 of Friday's post. Since I've been into the bullet point thing, let me outline what I'd like to cover and tell you what you missed on the last attempt to do a video post. What we'll cover is the reality of worldviews, the manifesting, and the rule of everyone does everything at one time or another. Those last two are very, very closely intertwined, and they also figure very prominently in the current discussions going on around the doctrine about predominant worldviews. Do they change? Can you switch? Secondary aspects, do they switch with predominant, etc.? All very good questions, and I appreciate getting questions and topics that are challenging, and they are challenging. They're challenging in the semantics of it. The answer, by the way, is no. No, they don't switch. Predominant worldview is just what it sounds like. It's predominant worldview. Secondary is interesting. And the language is what the challenge is for us, because I will say that other than a possibly very temporary basis, your predominant worldview stays what it is. And why that's important is a couple of reasons. The primary reason is that the doctrine is predicated on that notion of a real reality that we develop in and live in. Without which not, as those Latin rascals would say, sine qua non. Might as well jump off at that point. Reality of worldviews. The thing about the doctrine is that we, rather than do what everybody else does, which is quiz the subject and ask you, the readers, hey readers, you want to know what your personality type is? Well, first you got to tell us shit. Tell us all about what you like, what you don't like, what you hate about girls, what you love about boys, all of that kind of stuff, and your favorite hobbies and TV shows. And we'll take that and we'll just put it into the Mixmaster machine, and all of a sudden it'll turn out to show that you're in grid number 275Z. And that means you're an aggressive but very gentle and intuitive and smart and wears blue really well personality type. We don't do that, although we should. What we do is we watch and observe a person and ourselves, and we try to infer how the person is relating themselves to the world around them. Key words there, guys. It isn't how do you relate yourself to the world? No. That's what everybody does. What we do is we say, how do you relate yourself to the world around you? That's the magic formula for the Wakefield Doctrine. Because with that question answered, and the answer will be one of 3, you relate yourself to the world around you as would an outsider. You relate yourself to the world around you as a predator might. And you relate yourself to the world around you as would a herd member. That's where our personality types come from. Nothing more than a list of coping strategies, characteristic behaviors, and traits that are almost inevitable to a person who grows up in a reality characterized as outsider, predator, and herd member. Drop any one of us into the place where Christine grew up, the wide open savannas with the packs of hyenas and the endless herds of antelope, and you will learn right quick, because we're talking about somebody from Indiana, so they do talk like that, right quick. You learn right quick to be quick in action. Don't waste a lot of time subjectively second-guessing yourself. Be aggressive, be decisive. We're describing a Scott, of course. That's what the Wakefield Doctrine says. So, but it's real, is the thing. I'm not playing one on TV. I'm not acting like a Clark because I feel like it. I act like a Clark because I am, and I am because I grew up being in a worldview in which I was the outsider. Real reality. We'll come back to that. Second part, rule. Everybody does everything at one time or another. And that leads us into how things manifest. To wit. Ha! Latin. Again, Latin. What the hell? To wit, is that so often, you know, you say, hey man, that's such a Scotian thing to do, or my brother-in-law's a firefighter, he doesn't look like a Roger, etc., etc. Or what am I going to do to get next to this girl sitting 2 seats down at the bar? We all do everything in I mean, it's a real world. We're all relating on the common level. What happens that's different with the doctrine is that for each of us, all of those things, everything you can think about that you encounter from the minute you wake up till the second you fall asleep, everything you encounter manifests differently for each of the 3 of us. I had a long kind of thing trying to illustrate that. It was fun because it had me, Christine, and Christy, K2 Christy, hi other Christy, had us standing or walking into a restaurant, Le Bon Appetit, a restaurant. It was a French restaurant, and that was going to serve as a illustration, an example of how things manifest differently for each of the 3 worldviews. And I'll come back to this sometime. Remind me in a comment. Say, hey Clark, that was such an interesting concept or illustration you had going. Tell us more. Tell us more. And it will be what you guys already expect because you're so up on the doctrine. I just can't keep up. So I'm going to end it there, and remind me also to tell you about old people driving, because I had a case of great example. It was on tape and everything, and I got a phone call and I had to throw away the video. Talk to you later.